Welcome to another video here on the Giant Take YouTube channel. Tyrod Taylor has been brought in by the New York Giants, the former Houston Texans quarterback. He's going to sign a 2-year contract, $17 million deal, and it's going to include $8.5 million guaranteed. $8.5 million guaranteed. I'm Josh, and I'm joined by my friend, my co-host Alex, here for a quick video. Breaking the news, reacting to it. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing good. This is interesting. This Tyrod Taylor signing, number one, a 2-year deal. That indicates to me right off the bat. We don't have the specifics yet. I want to know if there's an out to this, right? If there's an out, then maybe. But just on the basis of the 2-year deal, it looks like if Daniel Jones is staying, he's here this year, and then he's going to be here next year for when we draft a quarterback. And he's going to be kind of like the mentor for him. That's kind of what I look at it. But $8.5 million guaranteed is a scary number for a cap, struggling team. $8.5 million per year. I assume it's kind of going to be backloaded a bit because otherwise I don't know how the Giants are going to do that. But I'm not a big fan of this deal. Mitch Trubisky, I think, got a similar deal, and I think he's probably a better QB. Tyrod Taylor's has his share of injury troubles. I'm not a big fan of this. I think you could have gotten a better deal, and I'm gonna be open about it. I'm not a fan of the signing at all, really. I think we paid too much money. I'm a fan of the player. I like Tyrod Taylor, but I think this is too much. I did want Tyrod Taylor, but not at this price, and not on a 2-year deal with $8.5 million guaranteed. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Tyrod Taylor's kind of been known as the guy because obviously he was with Herbert before Herbert kind of went crazy. Then Davis Mills started going really good once Tyrod Taylor went to the Texans. So hey, maybe our quarterback, if that's Daniel Jones, whoever, starts playing really good now that Tyrod Taylor's here.
Could be the case. And if you remember, the Giants were supposedly, right, in quotation marks, not supposed to be big spenders here in free agency. And look out, they're coming for your wide receivers that are backups and practice squad guys. They're coming for your backup or starting offensive linemen. We have Mark Lewinsky signed with the Giants yesterday, right when we're recording this Tuesday night. That deal was for 3 years and $20 million, $11.4 million of that is guaranteed money. So, Alex, we were talking about this before we hopped on the I guess I was going to say the mics, but I'm coming out of my phone, so, not really a mic. But before we hopped on here and we were saying, or you said, I think, where is this money coming from? What are we going to do? So you have to assume, I know you tweeted out, I think it was yesterday after the Glowinski signing, that you got to assume that Bradbury, Barkley, someone is getting traded. We are losing a significant amount of cap in order for these deals to go through because, again, we still have to save a good amount of cap room for the contracts we signed with undrafted free agents, but more our draft picks in the 2 in the first round, as long as we don't trade back. The 1 in the second round, what is it, 2 second round or 2 third round? 2 third round picks. So we have to save money for that. And with bringing in these guys now totaling, over $20 million guaranteed, if not more at this point from the guys we've been brought in of guaranteed money, we have to lose a significant amount of cap room in a short amount of time, and that has to mean trading someone. Joe Schoen has to have something big in the books. Otherwise, he's just adding to negative money after going out and saying, I'm going to be shaving $40 million off this cap, which is going to, by the way, set a bad standard here in New York. He doesn't, he's not going to stick around long if he's making these promises and then going down and not doing them, just like Dave Gettleman. Similar to this, completely different thing, made a promise, I'm going to rebuild this O-line, didn't do so. If Joe Schoen says that he's going to get rid of $40 million, Giants fans, they're going to assume that. And so far, it doesn't look like he's doing that. He's adding to the negatives at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get rid of James Bradbury, we're not going to hit the $40 million. If we get rid of James Bradbury, we'll be about $2 million short of the $40 million. I think we can give him a benefit of the doubt. If Dave Gettleman, built the offensive line minus one offensive line piece, we wouldn't all be screaming at him, would we? So I guess that's okay. And I guess the reason he said 40 million is to be able to afford all these guys, which obviously clearly want to go out and spend some money.
Yeah.
Personally, I think, tight end's a big need on this team. More offensive line's a need on this team. Edge is a need. There's countless needs on this team. We already have a quarterback. It's nice to have an insurance policy. But
we needed a backup quarterback. There's no question about it. They were 0-6 when Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm were the starters for this team last season, although not for $8 million, $8.5 million, guaranteed.
Yeah, I would say I think you could have gone someone like Fitzmagic. You could have gone someone like Andy Dalton. All guys that would have, asked for less capital, in my opinion. So, Tyrod Taylor, like him as a quarterback. We got a mobile quarterback. In his career, he's played 78 games. He has 61.3% completion percentage, 7 yards per attempt, 59 touchdowns, and 25 interceptions. So, he's played well throughout his career.
Looking back on this season, he played 6 games in Houston, threw 966 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 INTs, interceptions, and completed about 60.7% of his passes. He's known as a mobile quarterback, but he's going to be turning 33 in the month of August, right? 32 right now when we're signing him. And again, signing a 32, almost 33-year-old backup quarterback for, again, $17 million? Yes, $8.5 million guaranteed. It's a lot of money for a guy that is not even going to be the starter, as Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll have come out and said Daniel Jones is our starter next season. So I don't know what they're going to be doing. Again, looking here at my computer, it's just, I know he also backed up Justin Herbert with the Chargers for a little bit. That's when Herbert got his start. He relieved Taylor early last season, I want to say. He also backed up Baker Mayfield at a certain point with the Browns a couple of years ago. And then at the beginning of last season, he started and then eventually backed up Davis Mills, who's looking to be the Houston Texans standout quarterback. So now he ends up here. And Daniel Jones, we know the guy has struggled. He's 12-25 as a starter in the NFL. Only thrown 21 touchdowns. Struggled with the fumbles. Got better, but he's also been injury prone. So we need a backup guy that can start if necessary. But again, I don't know if we're paying too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. Not super excited about this, but we'll see how the actual details, the year-by-year details come out, the cap hits, etc., the outs, and we'll see what happens with the deal. But yeah, on the basis of just the base numbers, not looking good in terms of this move by Joe Schoen. So we'll see what happens with the rest of free agency.
Yeah, so we'll keep keep an eye on free agency. We're actually about to record an edge video on the top edges in the NFL draft. We'll push that along, but it'll be coming out, I'm sure, soon. And then new episode coming out soon as well. We're going to be talking about free agency. Anyway, but for right now, to keep up with all the content, subscribe here on the YouTube channel. Drop a like. You can follow us on Twitter at The Giant Take Pod, Instagram The Giant Take, and Facebook and TikTok. We're on there as well. So all the social media platforms. Find us. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.